Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome back to MCubed. Today is Thursday. Theater Thursday, of course. And, I was trying to start this stream with a little something cool for you. I just got back some behind-the-scenes photos from a movie that I'm in that will continue filming in August and will hopefully be edited and ready to sell to somebody within the next few months, I guess. And that's kind of the only update I have for that. I don't know how to necessarily get the picture onto the screen because I usually just open up a Chrome tab and do something. I could show you my entire screen, but I'm kind of worried that I might show you stuff that I'm not supposed to show from the movie because I'm only allowed to show like things with specifically me and not like anybody else at the moment. So I'm gonna try to do it real quick. I'm gonna try really quickly. Does that not work? Is this not working? Oh, okay, share. Oh, wow. So we do have like everything. Okay, how's this look? Can we see this? Were y'all able to see that? I can't see both things I can't see everything everywhere all at once. I wish I could. Oh my God, we're going wild. We're going wild. So, what do y'all think? If y'all can see this, let me know. It's a horror movie, of course. It's a thriller, more of a thriller than a horror movie. And this is the only photo that I found that is completely on my lonesome at the moment. Everything else tends to be a little too interesting, gruesome at times, but not really. It's a really fun movie. I don't necessarily expect it to be like huge or anything. Of course, we're just kind of a ragtag group of friends and family, literally making it kind of deal. So. Yeah, that is just a quick little glimpse from Getaway is what it's going to be called, or at least that's our working title as of now. And yeah, we have another 3 weeks of filming in late August, kind of mid to late August. And after that, it's off to the races. We're going to get some editing going and we're going to figure out exactly where we're going to try to sell it to. We had to put a couple things together first, little trailer, little thing like that. Hopefully we sell it to somewhere cool. Fingers crossed. I don't think I can say anything more about that. So, yeah, that's that. Hopefully it turns out well, and I've got some decent hope in it. Fingers crossed all around. Fingers crossed everywhere. And yeah, I'm excited. I had a lot of fun filming it, so I believe I'm gonna have a lot of fun filming the second part. So I'm pumped. So yeah, keep your eyes out for that. Of course, I'll keep y'all posted. But yeah, there we go. To jump into good old Theater Thursday, though, this one might be a little short. It is just me and my lonesome again today. We do have a couple things that we want to talk about, or that I want to talk about because it's just me. But we may as well start off with what this title of the video is titled. It's a couple directorial debuts this weekend. One from a guy that we all know fairly well, especially if you're a horror movie fan or if you saw the latest Aquaman movie or a dozen other things. He's all over the place. Howdy, David. How you doing, man? Yeah, so Patrick Wilson comes out with Insidious, The Red Room this weekend. Produced, of course, by James Wan, but this one is the first time Patrick Wilson has both acted and directed. I don't think he's ever directed at all, necessarily. And this is kind of a big thing to do that. And, on the fifth movie at this point, it's kind of like he knows the characters well enough. He spent enough time in that world. He knows James Wan's mind as a producer because he worked with him on Aquaman, all the Conjuring stuff, all the Insidious stuff, etc., etc. They're very much on the same page, and I think that helps a lot, especially with a new director, someone that's not necessarily like. This isn't their baby per se, but it is a world that they grew up in, and I think that will help, kind of like Michael B. Jordan did with Creed 3 earlier in the year. So yeah, I've got some decent hope for it. I watched the first 3 Insidiouses. I don't think I've seen the fourth one because it didn't look all that great for me, and I know it wasn't as well critically received. I don't think the third one was very well critically received either. The first 2, especially the first one, I think was really good. And I know they've expanded upon the lore a little bit and done a few things, so I am interested to check it out. I don't know if I will because of the whole not having seen the fourth one yet, but like I said, James Wan, Patrick Wilson, I like the team behind it. Ty Simpkins is an adult, kind of grown up, going to college. I really wish the MCU would bring him back as a Harley Keener for Iron Man because he could be the perfect Iron Lad, and I think they've set that up, especially with him showing up in Avengers Endgame again. But I don't know, man. They seem to be going the Ironheart route and not so much the Iron Lad route. And I like Ironheart as a character, but just pigeonholing her into Wakanda Forever did not work for me, and I don't think it worked for many people. And it's good thing Anthony Ramos is in that Ironheart TV show because that's going to be the thing that kind of keeps me going because I like Anthony Ramos a lot, and I do like I don't remember her name that played Riri Ironheart. Ooh, I don't remember her name, but it might come to me later. Anyway, I think she's good. I just don't necessarily like the way that they decided to introduce her. I think that was a misstep in a way, and hopefully her and Iron Lad could kind of grow together in a way because I think that would be really interesting, and they could kind of have a fun little like romantic relationship or maybe off and on relationship. I don't necessarily know either one of the comic counterparts is typical relationship life. I'm not that well versed in comics. Decently versed, but not that well versed. So that could be cool. That could be cool. Almost as cool as Patrick Wilson directing Insidious 5. I don't know. We'll see. I both Insidious and MCU, they kind of are falling into not necessarily franchise fatigue because Jay and I keep kind of talking about this, and Matt and I have talked about it a little bit as well. And even Stormy and I talked about it a little bit this past Tuesday, which was fun. But yeah, I see what Jamie says with the not franchise fatigue isn't actually a thing. It's more of a fatigue from the producers. I think franchise fatigue is a thing, but it is with the producers. And I there was a comment yesterday. I don't necessarily remember who said it, but it was that bad movie fatigue is most definitely a thing. And that's what we get. Because the producers have franchise fatigue, we as an audience tend to have bad movie fatigue just as the consumer that's consuming the product. It's not what we expect it to be. It's not what we want it to be. It doesn't subvert those expectations that we already have. It hits them, and then it kind of dilutes them and waters them down, lessens them. Oh, let's put a bunch of CGI in the third act. We talked about that a little bit yesterday as well. There's just some things that just don't work as well, and it's that committee, franchise fatigue, producer, whatever, all together kind of coinciding that I think is really hurting a lot of what we're seeing in the film industry right now. And I, for one, want it to come back to just small creatives and big creatives, of course, but small creatives making the things that they want to love, that they love and want to make. The passion projects, that weird little thought that keeps coming up, no matter what you're making, no matter what movie you're doing, no matter what script you're reading. You're like, oh, I kind of want to do this though. That is what I want to see on screen, and hopefully we see more of that sooner than later. Insidious 5 could very well be that. I hope it's kind of a return to form. I think they got most of the cast back, so it could be that. Fingers crossed for it. But there is another directorial debut coming out this weekend, and this is Adele Lim's directorial debut. Howdy, Carrie. So Adele Lim is, I think she wrote Crazy Rich Asians. She wrote Joyride. She wrote, I want to say she wrote something else. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But she has written a few things that have been very popular as of recent. And Joyride, her directorial debut that she also wrote, is coming out this weekend. I got to see it in early screening last week in Austin while I was there. And I put my out-of-theater reaction. It came out this past Tuesday, so go check that out if you haven't checked it out yet. It is just a minute long, so it's nice. It's not too shabby, and it gives you a feel for the film. And this film is one that I loved. Oh my God. It was, I say it in the out-of-theater reaction, but I think it's the funniest thing out of all of Hollywood this year so far, movie-wise at least. It's either that or The Blackening, because I enjoyed The Machine. I never saw About My Father. I love No Hard Feelings, but it's very much a rom-com and not so much like that strict comedy, where Joyride is very much a strict comedy. It has essences of romance, of course, but it's much more comical in the way they play them and not so heartfelt and lovey-feely, and it doesn't necessarily convey the same emotions per se. So that's where I would say No Hard Feelings I loved, and it just became the highest grossing rom-com ever, I believe. No, it didn't. That's not no. It got some kind of feat like that. I just don't remember exactly what it was. I don't know if that was it. Um Box office feat. Is that a good thing to Google? 51 millions. 51 millions. 51 million is currently its box office haul. Yeah, I don't know where I got that from. I know No Hard Feelings has hit some kind of thing. It's only been in the theaters for 2 weeks. There's no way it's the most highest grossing box office thing ever. Rom-com wise, it may be. I believe it was something box office based that it has done. Maybe it just hit a landmark like, well, it only hit 53 million, so 50 million in a week. I don't know. Anyway, Joyride is an excellent film that is not necessarily rom-com. It truly is comedy, and damn, they bring it. I don't want to spoil anything here. I think the other day I was talking a little bit about Joyride. Sherry Cola is like the working man's Aquafina, I think, and not that, like, not in a bad way. I think like I do like Aquafina typically. Her voice can be a little bit much in some things, and I think she relies on that kind of tonal raspiness to kind of take. Instead of acting, she uses her voice a lot of time, and she's not necessarily voice acting. And I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. But it does take me out of her character sometimes, and it's not as enjoyable at the end of the day. Sherry Cola, on the other hand, I don't know her real name, but Sherry Cola is at least her stage name. It may be her real name. I don't know. She's great. She is hilarious. She has a very similar rasp to Aquafina, just not so like it's not so in your face. It's much more human in that way. And the quips she comes up with are great. Stephanie Sue from Everything Everywhere All at Once. She kind of plays that like that straight and narrow kind of character that wasn't always straight and narrow and has to kind of like reconcile with some of that and her own essence of being. And the two of them off of each other is awesome. Awesome. I believe the main actress's name is Allison Park, and she does a really great job as well. And then Sabrina Wu, who plays Deadeye in there. Y'all don't know what I'm laughing about. I don't even know exactly what I'm laughing about. I'm just laughing about every single thing that comes out of Sabrina Wu's mouth as the character Deadeye in this film. It comes out today. Please go check it out if you can. David, I know it's a far drive for you, so check it out on streaming whenever you get the chance. But Carrie, if there's a movie theater near you, it's a great laugh. It is a great laugh. Go grab your girlfriends, grab your husband, grab your wife, grab whoever, and go check this thing out because it's hilarious. Do not bring your kids with you to watch it though. It's not one that you shouldn't watch with your kids, but there are a little bit of uncomfortable scenes occasionally, and that might not be so great to watch with your children. But for the directorial debuts to come out this weekend being maybe the funniest movie of the year, and the other one being like this franchise that this guy's taken on for the last decade and has really made his own and now is quite legitimately making it his own, it's great to see. As someone who likes to act, right, wants to direct and produce, that Insidious 5's really cool. And also Joyride. That's literally her first time leaving the writer's chair, and she's still in the writer's chair, but she stayed in it and then progressed with the directing aspect of the film. That's what I like to see. That's what I want to see in Hollywood more often, that these people are multifaceted and God, multifaceted. Is that multifaceted? It just sounds weird, right? Let me know if my English is just not happening today. It might not be. Who knows? But I'm just excited. I'm ecstatic for what's going on and what's been going on. Yeah, I hate to say that's all I've got when we're just nearing 15 minutes because Joyride, I just don't want to spoil for you. It's that good of a film, that much fun of a comedy movie. that I don't want to spoil it for you. There are a few things we're going to be talking about, so don't worry, you don't have to hop out just yet. But yeah, Insidious 5, I don't have that finger on the pulse like I'd like because I just never saw the fourth one. But one thing that I did find interesting about that is because he's directing this and people kind of expect it to be decent at least, which is good because they're not like, oh, it's going to be so bad. You got one of the big actors making a movie out of it. No, people trust Patrick Wilson, which is nice. I trust Patrick Wilson, and I would hopefully trust him as a director. Seemingly, it's a good idea. And there have been questions. I think he even answered a question. I did not see the response, but people were asking him, would you direct The Conjuring 4? And what do y'all think? If this guy's been directing once so far and it is successful, people have already called Michael B. Jordan called him on to direct more things. And like, hey, we want you to direct after this really good thing with Creed 3. Could Patrick Wilson have a similar thing in his career happen? Insidious 5 might lead to Conjuring 4, might lead to an original project or something like that, or even a co-directing thing with, John Krasinski to make another thing. I don't know. I'm just thinking a bunch of little horror movies things that come from actors to directors. It could be interesting. I'm intrigued. I would like to see more of Patrick Wilson in the director's chair, even not having seen it so far. If it's successful, why not? That's what I'm thinking, yeah. And even if it's not like truly monetarily successful, which horror movies tend to have a better budget and it's a much more economical film making process. Give us the goodness, if it's good, give us it. Whether it makes a whole bunch of money or not, I would like to see Patrick Wilson's directing career take off. And if it takes off with Insidious, you might as well conjure up something else, Hold up, I got to sniff real quick, and I just don't want to make all that nasty noise on camera. Pardon me, I don't have a cold, but I've got the sniffles. Not necessarily sniffles. I'm just stopped up to a degree. Anyway, let's move on a little bit. One other thing, because the $100 million mark is what I was thinking maybe No Hard Feelings had reached, and then we actually read that $50 million mark or $53 million haul right now is what it's at. You know what did finally make $100 million was The Flash. And that's kind of a good thing, kind of not a good thing. Good for Warner Brothers, not so good for nobody else, really. I guess that it doesn't really correlate to anybody else. Besides, I guess, the lack of money other studios and other films are making, and that would have been nice to have seen that $7.5 million and $7.3 million in the fourth and fifth highest grossing films of this past weekend, which were Transformers at number 5 and No Hard Feelings at number 4, I believe. Or no, maybe No Hard Feelings was number 3. No, it was 4 because it was Elemental was number 2 and Across the Spider-Verse was 3. Am I predictable, Carrie? Just enough, right? I like to keep it a little cuckoo, a little crazy, and then a little bit of a consistent, I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? But yeah, so I don't exactly know how to feel about The Flash still. I still don't know how to feel about this $100 million either. I'm just kind of in limbo with The Flash at the moment. And I obviously don't want to support Ezra Miller. I'm not going to go see it again. I saw it once. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot the first time I watched it. And as I left the theater and started thinking about it more and more, it's kind of lessened on me. I still think it's one of the better... No, not better. I think it's one of the more coherent DC films that we've gotten from that whole Snyderverse and since then. Yeah. The Flash, man. That's The Flash. What are y'all's thoughts on The Flash at the moment? Have these 2 weeks that we've had since The Flash premiered given you any kind of insight? Has it been, never support Ezra Miller again, or has it kind of been like, okay, well, maybe give some? In my opinion, will not support that movie. I'll wait to see it on streaming. That's kind of where I'm at. I said I'll see it once because all I got to do is pay 50 cents because I'm a Regal member. I didn't really want to do anything past that, and that's kind of still where I'm at. I enjoyed the film more so than I expected to at times. I didn't enjoy it as much as I expected to at times, and then at other times it was just there. It wasn't necessarily boring, but it did kind of get to that CGI. I'm on my channel. I can cuss. CGI fuckfest, crap fest, whatever it is. That third act is just straight up just technically art, but it's like if you're gonna do that, just paint the back of the screen and do something cool and make it like Lord of the Rings or Star Warsy and not in the sense of like those are very different types of films, but just have like it tried to do Across the Spider-Verse in a couple different ways in the way it put like different looks per universe, and I like that idea a lot, but it works best in animation and not necessarily on live action. And it was one of the big things that people have complained about with what the CGI looked like. It just didn't feel real. Some things felt very different in different places, and it's not coherent. It is coherent storyline wise, but the CGI was not coherent, and that threw you out a lot. And yes, the movie does do better than a lot of DC films with the coherency story-wise, but just not enough to really keep anything going there. Aquaman 2, I think, is our really last hurrah there, and, I'm not all that excited. But, hey, Patrick Wilson's in it, and James Wan's directing and producing again, so we'll see. We'll see. I love me some Jason Momoa, obviously. We're all Stargate people for the most part. I'd rather watch an episode of Flash on TV than see the movie. Yeah. I don't even really like the Flash TV show after like the second season, even maybe the third or fourth. I think I watched 6 seasons of it, maybe 5, something like that. It got too much for me. All the Arrowverse stuff got too much for me. I was trying to keep up with all of it kind of at the same time. I'd be like, I think it was Monday Supergirls, Tuesday Flash, Wednesday Arrow, and Thursday's Legends of Tomorrow, whatever it was, in whatever order that was. It was just too much. I love the idea. I love the concept, but you gotta put quality as well as quantity, and the quality lessened more and more as it went on. It did waver back, but then it wavered right back down. So that's just. I love the Arrowverse to a degree, but that's it for Flash. We're gonna get back into the box office talk real fast. This is something that I was going to talk about yesterday, but we kind of ran out of time and we started talking about all the AI stuff. And, I love to talk about that. But, oh, come on. There it is. Here we are. Netflix stock prices. So, this one is not the longest of articles, so we may as well read it and just kind of like gauge where we're at. This was written on July 5th, so yesterday in the morning, actually, and it was by Eton Vlessing. That's kind of a cool name. Eton Vlessing. That's a very like character name. Can I put that in a movie? Eton Vlessing. I told you I like to write. I'm gonna come up with the character similar. Wait, was it Blessing or was it Vlessing? I forget. Vlessing. See, I just started saying blessing after that. Anyway. Let's read through this whole thing real quick. So, pardon that, and then we'll see where our mind is at. Okay. Netflix's subscriber growth stalling in 2022 seems a distant memory after Goldman Sachs became the latest Wall Street firm to upgrade the streaming giant and raise its stock price target for the streaming giant. On Wednesday, Goldman Sachs analyst Eric Sheridan reversed course and became a bull as he raised his stock recommendation from sell to neutral and bumped the price target from $230 to $400 on what he argued is continued forward positive operation momentum into 2024 to 2025. The streaming giant, Sheridan said in an investment note, has overcome economic pressures from post-pandemic subscriber losses, heightened industry competition, and boosting revenue from non-paying password borrowers. So, just real quick, before we keep moving and keep reading, watch Flash up until Arrow finished. And that's what I wanted to do. I just never saw that last season of Arrow. Just too much. Even though the Crisis on Infinite Earths intrigued me. I don't know. I get too anal about chronology. I would have to finish everything. So if I had a stopping point, I'm kind of like, okay, I got a stopping point. But on the Netflix stuff, What do y'all think about the password sharing at the moment? I understand it as a company. I'm already annoyed because I had to get my own Netflix instead of the same thing that I've been sharing with my family for years and years and years. Do y'all think that was a good idea? Do y'all think that was a bad idea? Do you think it was a good idea, just kind of sucks for the users, or is it something that's going to make us a more honest consumer in a lot of ways, and it help Netflix, help numbers, and hopefully help the writers and residuals and everything else? You know, you liked it. What, Flash, Arrow, or the subscriber sharing thing, or not subscriber sharing, the password, the lack of password sharing is a good way of saying that, I guess. Anyway, questions out there. I shall continue reading, y'all. In short, Netflix management has executed its password sharing initiative in excess of our prior assumptions, has regained content creation momentum in a manner that has muted any post-pandemic growth headwinds, and overall industry competition has become more muted, especially from traditional media companies in the past 6 months. Goldman Sachs said as shares in Netflix edged slightly lower in late morning, trading on Wednesday down 41 cents, or nearly 1% to $441.03. That comes ahead of Netflix, led by CEO Ted Sarandos, getting set to release its latest financial results on July 19th. On June 27th, Oppenheimer analyst Jason Helfstein pointed to another potential significant revenue generator for Netflix as it continues to refine its overall product mix and pricing worldwide. See, I saw that whenever I originally read the article. I don't think Netflix is an Oppenheimer movie. I mean, I don't think Oppenheimer is a Netflix movie. Is it? Because isn't it Universal? Didn't Chris Nolan make a deal with Universal to make Oppenheimer after he left Warner Brothers? It could be Netflix, and I might be completely wrong, but I was pretty positive. Before we continue, it only hurt Netflix. It actually did the exact opposite. It's only helping Netflix. Like, it literally raised their stock price from $230 to $430 or whatever. 400 what was it? 401, $403, $441. Was it $203 to $230 to $400? And now it's at $430. So it's only been going up more, which is wild. I thought it was only going to hurt Netflix, like you just said, but nope. It makes sense. They're getting more money and their stock price is going up. Just shared it with my mate. Not good for him, but good for Netflix. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. It kind of sucks for the consumer in a lot of ways, but I think it will make us a more honest consumer. And I'm interested in the landscape of things in the next 2 years, kind of like that, because obviously a lot of these other companies have seen this stock price go up, and this is going to happen across the board on streaming services very soon. So let's keep reading, y'all. Well, where were we? Bumping up his share price target to $500 from $450. Yeah. Helfstein pointed to Netflix possibly phasing out its ad-free basic streaming plan now being tested in Canada. Did I get chasing from reading Canada and like facing together? I don't know. Facing. Oh, good Lord. English is difficult today, y'all. It must be the sniffles. But we believe a phase out of the basic plan could generate an incremental $4.4 billion for Netflix over a 12-month period, the analyst wrote in an investment note. While new or rejoining Canadian subscribers now need to pay more for commercial-free viewing or opt for the cheaper ad-supported tier, there's as yet no indication that the end of the basic ad-free streaming package north of the border will in time spread elsewhere. Other analysts see Netflix gaining subscribers from changes to its product mix that will draw in new revenues. Carrie, you got to pay more for Netflix? I was about to say, you didn't realize that? Like, oh, shoot. Yeah, I guess Canadians are paying more. I don't know why. Is it just harder for servers to reach up there? Do y'all not have as many cell towers, satellites, whatever? I would think y'all would. I wouldn't see a reason why you wouldn't. I don't know. That's interesting. I'm not sure why it's like that. I don't think the article continues and tells us anything like that. I think it just continues talking about the whole monetary aspect of what's going on over there. Well, of course, yeah. Especially if you have to pay more. I don't get that. I mean, I'm sure it's a different price range for people in the U.S. versus people in Canada versus the UK versus India versus China versus anywhere else in Europe or Japan or wherever. I'm intrigued at the differentiation in prices and why, because we're not really getting a different service, I guess. So shouldn't they just charge everything strictly based on like the US dollar equivalency, right? That's what I would assume, but assuming does make an ass out of you and me. So I'm trying not to do that, But anyway, let's keep reading. But other analysts see Netflix getting subscribers from changes to its product mix that will draw new revenues. In a June 14th investment note, Wolf Research analyst Peter Supino argued the streaming giant blocking password borrowers from outside a paying household would force non-paying viewers to either subscribe or force account lenders to pay an extra member fee. Oh, I could have done that instead of getting a whole new damn account. I am just now realizing that. I got a whole new fancy Netflix account. They made money off of me. They're making and made money off of me. I mean, they made me a more honest consumer at the same time too. Well, damn, ups and downs everywhere. All right, let us continue. We see a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for Netflix to benefit from both average revenue per user, extra member fees, and subscriber gains, newly monetized subs and premium standard accounts that split into multiple accounts, and nearly 100% increment margins, Supino wrote in the investment note. Netflix a year ago began rolling out its ad-supported subscription tier, and the company in May said the nascent advertising tier of the service had signed up nearly 5 million global monthly active users. Overall, Netflix's global subscribers total was 232.5 million at the end of its first quarter of 2023. On June 13th, Bank of America analyst Jessica Reif-Ehrlich, echoed Wall Street forecasts that the password sharing crackdown will lead to more viewers taking up the cheaper ad-supported tier. We increasingly view Netflix's crackdown on password sharing and the AVOD, advertising video on demand opportunity, as inextricably linked. At the $7 price point, the ad-supported tier provides an attractive low-priced option for borrowers who still wish to access the Netflix service. Excuse me. In our view, the broader crackdown on password sharing will be an accelerant to Netflix's ad-supporting tier. Reif-Ehrlich wrote in an investment note as she raised Netflix's stock price target to $4.90 from $4.10. Oh, so people are raising it from $4.90 to $4.10. People raised it from $400 to $500. So that stock price is looking great. Oh, no worries, David. We'll see you soon. But yeah, that's interesting. What are y'all's thought processes there? It is a good thing for Netflix. It's going to be something that's implemented all over the place. And if they're really going to kind of push that ad tier, that's just going to bring in more money for them as well. I had no idea. Real quick, guess how many or what percentage at least of Netflix users use the ad tier? I'll wait for like a response or two. Because, I was thinking it was probably I thought I was highballing it at like 13, 14, 15% or something like that. There's a lot of people that are like, oh, it's probably 5, 6, 7%. And then there's a lot of people that are like 25, 30, 40%. Carrie just said 25%. And Carrie, you're not right there, but you are right up next to it. It's literally like a third. And it might be, that actually might be the actual correct number. It's roughly a third. I don't remember the exact numbers. I'd have to bring up the whole article again. But a third of people that watch Netflix, you do it on an ad tier. And if a third of those people aren't that third that is quote unquote the borrowers, and those borrowers tend to use the ad tier because it's the cheaper thing, and that's what they were doing anyway. They're not going to be like me where I was like, oh, let me do ad-free Netflix. That was all fancy. I think I pay like $17, $18 a freaking month now. Like, great. Freaking great. But, and I don't use Netflix as much as a lot of the other streamers, honestly. I might have to rethink that. I might go down to ad tier. I'm not going down to ad tier. If anything, I'll go $13, $14. But $17 a month is a lot, and if that's what you're paying for good quality something without ads, you could pay for the same quality just with ads for $7 a month or like 5, 6, 7, whatever it is for the add-on for an account. That's only going to grow. I think as the more of these quote unquote borrowers tend to become Netflix subscribers of their own or borrow on other people's accounts, it will be for no ads. Yeah, you have to pay more for no ads. Yep. But that's the same thing with a lot of these different companies. Hulu's always done that. YouTube Premium does that. I've always had YouTube Premium for a while, and I do that for my music as well because I have a Google Pixel, so everything I do kind of runs through Google. And yeah, I was shocked whenever I saw that 30% or roughly 30% of users on Netflix were already using the ad tiered. Because we didn't really get an ad tier until 2 or 3 years ago, and people have been using Netflix for a very long time prior to that, which means people switched to the ad tier when it became available to them. And as the borrowers kind of become continued borrowers that actually have their own smaller accounts attached to accounts, or we have larger a number of accounts just joining, that 25-30% might end up being 40, 50, 40, 55, 60%. It could be upwards of 60% in the future because there's a lot of people that I know that use borrowed accounts. And obviously we all do it. It's great. You don't have that option in Canada? What? And they're trying to make you pay more no matter what already? Now that's not right. That's iffy. It should just be the US equivalency just across the board, right? That's my thought process on it. You don't even have the option to pay more for better tiers, and then they're charging you more for the ad tiers? Interesting. Huh. Yeah. Well, yeah. See, I love me some YouTube because YouTube Premium I have in like half a dozen or maybe even more places, and it's just excellent. It's so good. YouTube without ads is the best, and then YouTube Music I think is the best actual music platform there is. Sorry, Spotify. Sorry, Apple Music. Who's literally gotten every music and music video on their platform from almost ever? It's YouTube. YouTube Music dwarfs these other guys. I love it. I love it. And YouTube Premium helps out a lot there. But yeah, we don't get ads though in Netflix. Just FYI. Okay. So have they not rolled out the ad tier yet? And maybe that's why you're paying a little bit more? I don't know. Let's just Google Netflix tiers at the moment and check this out. If I can type plans and pricing on Netflix. Okay. Let me bring this up. Present, share screen, plans and pricing, share it. Let me double check. All right, I can see y'all. Let's just go through and check this out. So standard with ads. Oh, come on. Is it going to give us pricing as well? Okay, standard with ads is $6.99 a month, $7. And this is US dollars. And I am assuming, I guess, that it is just the US since Canada has a little bit different of everything. Tommy, what are you doing here, brother? YouTube Premium and YouTube Music are both the best. This man is a music producer, so he knows what he's talking about. Used to be religious about Apple Music, but YouTube Music is second to none, and you know I'm all about my music. What I was just saying, right there. He knows what he's talking about. But yeah, what do you think about, you know, obviously Tommy's a college buddy of mine. Just thinking about like Netflix, man. What are you excited about the ad tier? Do you think the like borrowed users and all that? Where's your brain on that? Where's your thought process? Is it a good idea? Does it make sense for Netflix, not necessarily the consumer? Is it better for the consumer, better for Netflix? Is it going to make us more honest consumers, even though we're having to kind of begrudgingly pay a little more? You know, that's kind of what we've been talking about. That's a little full circle there real quick. But yeah, we're just looking through plans and pricing right now. Standard with ads, ad-supported, all but a few movies and TV shows available, unlimited mobile games, watch on 2 supported devices at a time, and watch in full HD. Okay, that's right. So some of the quality has to do with, I think, the pricing, right? Because you can get, okay, so basic next is $10 a month. Unlimited ad-free movies, TV shows, and mobile games. I'm guessing, Carrie, is this the one that would be kind of more Canada-oriented, where it's basic? And it is ad-free, but it might cost a little bit more than the US. So does it cost $10 US a month or more? Well, we've been talking a little Netflix and stuff like that. But yeah. Carrie, where would you be at there? Is Canada probably like basic, or would it be standard? Let's see the difference, I guess. Oh, standard and standard with ads. I am confused. Standard is 15. Okay, so I have premium Netflix. That's the one I have. Okay. And these are the ones you can add slots to. So basic, you can't add a slot. So that, I think, is why I was forced to. I think my family plan that we've always been on was the basic plan. And that's probably why I wasn't able to add an account to that. And I just went ahead and got my own Netflix account. And 9 Canadian bucks. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. For basic or for standard? That's where we're gonna have to figure out, because confusion. Netflix is trying to make us a little confused, and it usually probably works out in their favor, because people either pay more or they pay less, and then they get ads, which gets more streaming revenue and ad revenue for Netflix. Ted Sarandos is making money right now. This is smart. This is very smart. So standard without the ads, of course, is unlimited ad-free movies, TV shows, and mobile games. Watch on 2 supported devices at a time. Watch in full HD. Download on 2 supported devices at a time. An option to add 1 extra member who doesn't live with you. Interesting. Okay, so you only get 1 extra member there. And that's still $16 a month. So $20 a month. I believe this is where I'm at. I might be at standard, but I think I'm at premium. Is because I was thinking I was paying $18 a month. It's probably the $19.99 one. Unlimited ad-free movies, TV shows, and mobile games. Watch on 4 supported devices at a time. Watch in Ultra HD. Download on 6 supported devices at a time. Option to add up to 2 extra members who don't live with you. And Netflix spatial audio. What is that? What is that? Netflix? Oh, God, I'm sounding like I'm from Southeast Texas right now. Unsure. We just don't have ads. LOL. Yeah. That makes sense. Now I'm just kind of intrigued about the whole correlative system and how it works within Netflix and different countries, I guess. Anyway, I'm just intrigued by this as well. Spatial audio on Netflix. Netflix spatial audio is available on the premium plan and enhances sound without the need for surround sound, speakers, or home theater equipment. It works on all Netflix-supported devices. You can find TV shows and movies with spatial audio on your device by searching spatial audio in the Netflix search bar. Titles with spatial audio will have a spatial audio label next to their description. I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool. That's all I know. So, yeah, that's interesting. That's really interesting. Okay, well, business-wise, they needed to do it. Everyone having other people's accounts just loses them an insane amount of money. So I get why they do it. However, I'm frustrated because I was also on my family account. Yeah. I'm 100% there. Business-wise, it makes sense. I completely understand the thought process behind it. And they're making money. If people are switching to this, and 30% of people are already on the ad tier, which means they're not making all that much, but that means, what, 70 plus roughly, or 60 plus in that general range are paying for it and are all over the place. That spatial audio, if it actually works really cool, I might have to look on a couple of different shows and just or a movie or two. You know what? I still haven't seen Extraction 2 yet. And that's probably one that would have spatial audio if anyone's going to have spatial audio, because it's one of their big blockbusters for Netflix right now. I might have to check it out and see the difference, listen to 10, 20 minutes of that and then put on a normal thing that doesn't have a little spatial audio symbol next to it and really see if it is worth it. Because if not, damn, I might as well go back to the standard account, right? I don't know why I would keep the freaking premium. I thought I was getting 4K or something. It just says full HD. Make it fancy for me. Let me have IMAX options or something. That would be worth paying the extra couple dollars a month. Come on, Netflix, help us out. But yeah. So yeah, boatloads of money. Oh, wait, what'd you say real quick? Think about the percentage of people who have been kicked off of old accounts because of their new policy. I guarantee a large percent of those people are like us and just got their own account. Totally. Because I tried to do the whole add account thing, but I guess the family plan I was on was basic, so we weren't able to add an account. And they got me paying $20 a month now because I was like, I want good stuff. Not that much better than standard, but we'll see. We'll see if that spatial audio is worth it real quick. Not real quick, but you know what I mean. I'll get to it. Yeah, really though, we just hit 45. I don't think we're gonna hit our 2-hour mark. We might hit our hour mark though. Just talking about some stuff. The last thing that I wanted to do with y'all was, fingers crossed this doesn't get us shot down, because it's Apple TV Plus, so I don't think they would be too aggravated about it. But we will see. I know I'm gonna pull up the trailer for Killers of the Flower Moon, Martin Scorsese's newest film. And this is like our first full trailer. We've gotten a couple teasers and a couple things like that. And everything's looked really good. I have yet to watch this trailer because I kind of wanted that authentic reaction with y'all. So I'm pumped. I'm scrolling through Twitter at the moment trying to find the damn thing. I might as well let y'all scroll through Twitter with me. Present, share screen, and Twitter. Yeah, I'm just scrolling through this. What, 19 hours ago? It's probably a little over a day. Look at all this good content, good stuff to talk about. I still want to see this one. I want to see that and Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. They better not have taken this trailer down. Yeah, there's some Mission Impossible stuff. Okay, that's our topic yesterday. And I would think the trailer is. They didn't take it down, did they? There we go. It just took a second. Y'all. All right, y'all ready to watch this trailer? I'm gonna put it in full screen. Let's see. All right.
You know, you got nice color skin. What color would you say that is?
My color.
The Osage. They have the worst land possible. But they outsmarted everybody. The land had oil on it. Black gold. Money flows freely here now.
I do love that money, sir.
This wealth should come to us. Their time is over. It's just going to be another tragedy.
When this money started coming, we should have known it came with something else. They're like buzzards circling our people. We're still warriors.
I ought to kill these white men who killed my family. I need you here.
I am right here.
You've got to take back control of your home.
I was sent down from Washington, D.C. to see about these murders.
See, what about him?
See who's doing it.
Expecting a miracle to make all this go away. You know they don't happen anymore.
Damn, that looks good. That looks really freaking good. What are y'all's thoughts? I mean, y'all saw my thoughts. They were popping off as this was popping off. Wow, that I will say I look back at The Irishman fondly, but not like that fondly. it doesn't stand to the test of time like all of his other gangster movies kind of have. But wow, that looks good. That looks really good. That it's action packed. It's got two amazing actors that were like really looked like they were at like top of their game in it. Leo and De Niro. Not gonna lie, it looks pretty good. That looks intense. Gonna be heat. I am in complete agreement. That looked great. Jesse Plemons popping up. That FBI agent. That's great. Anything Jesse Plemons is in is great, and especially if it's directed by Martin Scorsese's. We only saw one shot of Brendan Fraser in there. Brendan Fraser, not Fraser, excuse me. But Brendan Fraser, obviously coming off of The Whale. Marty Scorsese's just like got a good performance out of him. I'm ecstatic. That makes me really excited. Is it like a love story with Leo and the native woman? Maybe. I have the book, and I haven't read it yet. When did it say? I clicked out of it too fast. In theaters in October. Okay, it doesn't have like a set release date yet. October. It's a very short book. It's like 180 pages, maybe even shorter. I'm gonna have to read it by then, and then I'll have better grasp on everything, and we can kind of report on it a little bit more and talk about it more. And yeah, I don't know. That's kind of my if I had to sum it up, I would think Leo marries this woman, learns about Native culture, gets involved in Native culture, and starts to see that, hey, these white dudes aren't the best. They might be bringing in a bunch of money and a bunch of cool stuff, but hey, pretty shiny things don't necessarily mean meaningful, good things for the population and the community at hand. And I guess if I had to guess, just from that Jesse Plemons scene, Leo's the guy killing everybody. But I don't know. And yes, Brendan Fraser is the best, man. I love Brendan Fraser so much. Give him a reason to get back in shape, and let's do Mummy 4. Mummy 4, and do half a dozen other things, please. And he's just such an enigmatic, like, character actor. He just has so much heart to him, no matter what he does. He's either really funny and really fun, George of the Jungle, The Mummy, all that kind of stuff, or he brings some really intense stuff to the role that you wouldn't expect out of the guy. And most recently, of course, that's from The Whale. If y'all haven't seen The Whale, check out The Whale. I'm so glad he's back. This was fun, my man. Love seeing you doing what you love. I'm about to spark one up and hit the gym, so I'll catch you later, brother. See you, brother. I'm probably actually about to do the same. Usually we go about 2 hours. I have a couple other co-hosts on here. This was kind of just back to my usual, just hanging out, shooting the shit, and talking movies. And that's kind of what I like to do. You know, it's life. Yeah, that's kind of it for me, unless y'all want to talk about a couple things. We were hitting the 54-minute mark in about half a minute. So, yeah. Tomorrow, though, we've got a lot of film news. If you still English, struggle with it every now and then. Absolutely love The Mummy 1 and 2. Hated 3. Yeah, I like bits of 3, but like the definition of bits of 3. It had a decent concept. Michelle Yeoh's in it. Can we bring back Michelle Yeoh, please? That's about the extent of me liking Mummy 3. But Mummy 1 and 2 are unbeatable. They're phenomenal films. They're scary. They're funny. They're action-packed. They're adventurous, explorative. They're just amazing. They're really great. The Corridor Crew, the VFX kind of house, they have a couple episodes where they have some of the people that made those films talk about them. They even had the guy that actually like did the CG behind The Rock as the Scorpion King back in the day. And, you know, he's kind of making fun of it. Like, yeah, we didn't have all the time we needed. We wanted to make sure his face was visible. All these different things. It's fun to hear them talk about that, because that's like the one bad thing about those first two. But it's really not that bad. It just ended up being cheesy from the time period it came from. While everything else in that time period somehow looked better than a lot of the things we see today. The Mummy's the best. I love that freaking movie. Love Mummy 2. Mummy 3. Good bits. But I still have hope. I'm holding out hope for number 4. As long as Fraser gets ready for it, I think it'd be great. But yeah, that's all I got for today. If you didn't see me scrolling through Twitter, there's what I was trying to say. We've got a lot of film news to cover for tomorrow. So be prepared. We'll see you tomorrow. Hopefully, instead of our normal 5-7 topics, we might even make it to 10. We'll see. I try to stay on track, but we do tend to go off on tangents a lot. But the tangents are fun because they tend to be great. Yesterday was a debate about AI, which was fun. I enjoyed that. So yeah, check it out. We'll be back tomorrow, probably 10:30ish instead of 11. I just wanted to make sure everybody got to go see the Sidetrack video that Jamie put out. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Come back to MQ for more movie love and goodness. I forgot to give you my spiel, so hit that like, subscribe, notification bell, affiliate link and Patreon down in the description, and check out our Ticket or Skip It's Out of Theater reactions, all that good stuff. If you want to come smoke with me, I'm about to go smoke on Snapchat at Harris McGrade, also on Twitter and Threads now, and Instagram, and I think most of those things. So yeah, okay, we might talk for a couple more minutes. I'm glad I gave my spiel there, though. David, what have you done? I haven't read this yet. All I saw was Jar Jar. Have you checked Jar Jar yet? I've skimmed through Revenge of the Sith. Didn't see him until 10 minutes from in behind Padme's coffin. Let's get to the bottom of this. Let's get to it. Jar Jar Binks in Revenge of the Sith. Because it is Jar Jar's character that gives senatorial power and allows Chancellor Palpatine to become Supreme Chancellor Palpatine. So, I don't think that happens in the second one. Or does it happen in the second one, and the third one is... It doesn't happen in Attack of the Clones, does it? Does he have Supreme Chancellorship? Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Because he has Supreme Chancellorship the entirety of the Clone Wars, which would be where Revenge of the Sith begins. You might be totally right, and I might just be pigeonholing something in my brain. Mr. Star Wars over here. Shoot, damn. Let's see. In Revenge of the Sith, images at least. Let's check that out. He's down here. Yeah, that scene. Okay. Pictures aren't going to do us any good, I don't think. Does Jar Jar appear in Revenge of the Sith? Oh, yeah, a one-line cameo. Damn. Jar Jar appears throughout Star Wars prequel trilogy as a major character in Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, with a smaller role in Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, with only a one-line cameo in Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, as well as having a role in the television series Star Wars The Clone Wars. It might just be... I'm thinking the thing that is throwing me off and confusing me is that Clone Wars is probably the thing that I remember the best about Star Wars. It's the thing that I grew up week to week watching all the time. I'd be excited and happy to watch it. I still am excited and happy to watch it. And there was a plenty of Jar Jar. He's not used all the time, but he's used very well when he is used. And that's one of the reasons I think Jar Jar is a positive character in my mind. And I bet you that's where I'm thinking. Because he does succeed senatorial power to Supreme Chancellor Palpatine in the second one, so the Clone Wars can happen. Yeah, you're right. I was all over the place. I thought I was there. That makes sense, though. That makes sense. I'm pretty sure it's just the Clone Wars, which is screwing my brain up. Oh. While I got you here, David, though, Jar Jar Binks' girlfriend. That's who you need to see. Look, my man. Oh, Queen Julia. There we go. Let's read about her. Jar Jar Binks' beloved Queen Julia of the planet Bardota has been abducted by the bloodthirsty Frangua cult to fulfill a dark and ancient prophecy. Which, that's a great episode. Jar Jar Binks and Mace Windu have a full episode. Yeah, and I do need to refresh and watch again. It's probably been... I watched the prequels all last year, but that was the first time I'd watched them in probably 3 or 4 years. I need to just refresh, as always, you know. But this episode with Jar Jar Binks in the Clone Wars is Jar Jar Binks and Queen Julia, of course, but it involves Mace Windu. I don't think this is the same one with a bunch of Night Sister stuff. There is some Jar Jar, Mace Windu, and Night Sister stuff, which is excellent as well. That might be like a correlative episode. I don't know if it's exactly the same arc or anything, but this episode is so good. It makes you like really like Jar Jar, root for Jar Jar, and I mean, for all the hate that Jar Jar gets, he managed to get a girlfriend and get laid. Oh, that's funny. I thought I was going to be talking about like a Queen or something. What'd she say? Oh God. Here you go. There's Queen Julia. Yeah. Oh no. Okay. Yes. No. Oh, okay. No, I'm getting things all mixed together. I think they are separate arcs. But Mace Windu is with Jar Jar in this arc alongside Queen Julia. No! Mace Windu and Jar Jar are in a different arc. I think Queen Julia does pop back up. But that's a Night Sister arc where this is just like a Queen Julia episode, maybe 2 episodes. Damn, now the TV show's starting to blend together. I got to refamiliarize myself with all of it, which... it's kind of a fun thing to do, so I don't mind. My brain's been so much on Stargate, I'm forgetting my Star Wars. That's okay though. There's room for both. I'll fit it all in there somehow. Cram that encyclopedia up in here somehow. Neuralink, where are you at? I need some help. SOS. What season and episode number? And I'll give it a watch on Clone Wars. Let me pull that out of my ass. I'm kidding. I've got Google. I can figure that out really easily. Jar Jar Binks, Queen Julia episode number Disappeared Part 2 episode guide, The Clone Wars Season 6 episode 9. That's why it's so damn good, is because when you get into Season 6 and stuff, it's great. And it's where it originally ended. So it's one of the final episodes, technically. And it's great. It's great. It's legitimately a good episode. Watch it, and then whenever you do watch it, because you know, we see it all the time, let me know what you thought about it. Whether you watch it by tomorrow or not. Film news tomorrow, Sidetrack Sunday, and then, you know, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, film news, Tuesday, Thursday, box office movie talk. Yeah. We'll get into some Jar Jar. We can make Jar Jar like a recurring theme, which can be fun. Good old Jar Jar. But it was, one more time, I Season 6, Episode 9. There we go. I typed that away so fast. I'll even put it in here. S6, Ep 9. Just to have it on file. Yeah, we have reached a little over an hour today. It was just little old me talking and hanging and talking movies and directorial debuts and Netflix and money making and all these different type of things. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I hope to see you tomorrow. I hope to see you on Sunday for Sidetrack. We should hopefully have some out-of-theater reactions coming out this weekend. I don't know if I'm going to see Insidious, but I might go try to see some of these limited releases or maybe just like whatever funky movies in theaters around here right now. We'll see. There's always something interesting in old La La Land. But yeah, thank you again for coming out here. All my spiel from earlier, like, subscribe, affiliate link, Patreon, all that good stuff. Appreciate y'all so much. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Come back to MCubed for more movie loving goodness. I don't know why the emoji's not working. The emoji works on YouTube. I don't think I can see the emojis from here. But yeah, come back to MCubed for more movie loving goodness, and I will see y'all